Here we are. Once again, of course, on daybreak, and everything is looking peachy. Another quick look at the booth. Yes, everything's fine here for Seed, everything's fine for Gumiho, so let's see what those two are going to do. Look at this pylon placement here immediately.
I think he's going to go for a 4-gate. He's got 75 chrono energy, and he's going to make 3 gateways proxy them so they cannot be scouted by Gumiho and go for a 4-gate.
And Gumiho is going for the expansion, 1 barracks into expand, following it up with another barracks, and let's see what Seed is actually going to do here. This is actually a really good... this is definitely something that he could do. We've seen pylon placements like this in the late game and the mid game in order to detect the medivacs, but this is a very early forward pylon.
Yeah, and sometimes it's used to hide Dark Templar, for example, as well. But in this case, there's only 1 gas, so that won't be what we're doing. I think he's actually doing this, to be perfectly honest, as a Pro player from a perspective, because everyone has that game where you just forget to hit probes and gas for a few seconds. I think he's like, damn, like, I got a 4-gate now, like, what can I do here? If he actually just makes a Nexus, that's really weird. I think he may go for a cancel here, try to fake his opponent out, but...
I actually think he only built the pylon because he really wants to spot medivacs later on. I mean, that's a very early pylon.
Yeah,
and
it's entirely possible.
I would actually do it like later, but maybe. I don't know.
He's stopped chronoing everything. He's not chronoing probes or units out of his gateway. This is unusual play, to say the least, with the timing of the Nexus here. But yeah, I mean, that pylon is going to be useful later on. He's got so many units on the map to deny scouting as well, so there's no reason he would do that if he was actually going to cancel the Nexus. He wants his opponent to see the Nexus, that's one thing, and double expand.
Exactly, he's going for the double expand here as the Probe at the 3rd is throwing down the 2nd Nexus. He's playing a little bit greedy, just a tiny little bit.
Yeah, and I feel it. I don't know how to explain this, but I feel he's playing uncomfortably right now. I feel like the timings here are not lined up quite like they should be, but now he's got the 3rd Nexus going up, and he's positioned his units perfectly to deny scouting, so he's going to transition now here. Off to a rough start with his earbud problem, his gas problem, but now he's got the 3rd Nexus up, he's got units to spot everything, including the pylon, he's got double stalkers, he's got the watchtower. Gumiho is not going to find out about this.
But it's Gumiho's job to actually find out that there's a 3rd Nexus, because he has a timing window now where he can punish his opponent. This is a very greedy build by Seed, and if you go for a strategy like this, you won't have the units to defend properly. So if Gumiho, moving out right now with a small force on the map, if he is getting aggressive, then he can definitely punish Seed.
Yeah, Seed's got to be very careful. He does not want to reveal the Nexus, but if he actually just runs up here, Gumiho will probably attack the natural, ignoring the 3rd Nexus. He has 2 sentries. His extra gate just finished. He needs to chrono boost those gateways if he wants to have enough units out here to defend. And Gumiho going to go home, actually, but he will spot the 3rd Nexus with his SCV.
Sends the SCV in, takes the Selnaga Watchtower, and now he knows, okay, there's a 3rd base for my opponent. Seed is quilling the Twilight Council. He is nearly done. The SCV, of course, is going to die here, but now Gumiho knows what's going on and immediately moved onto the map again with his force.
Yeah, and he's being a little bit indecisive about how he wants to approach this, and this is buying Seed more and more time. He's got probes mining at the 3rd base now. He's going to have a sick economy. He's already up to 44 probes.
One of the things that Gumiho did immediately upon realizing there was a 3rd base, he salvaged his bunker, because he was like, okay, I'm not going to need my bunker here. So those 100 minerals will be a little bit put to better use. But builds 1 on the high ground now.
He expects possible parting type aggression with 8 gateways, I think. But it's weird to build on the high ground rather than on the low ground.
He already had a bunker.
Yeah, that's really weird. It's almost as if he expects there might be a run by later. That choice baffles me, but at any rate, Seed is powering up now, not only a few gateways, but is going up to 7, getting the blink research as well, taking gases at his natural, not at his 3rd base yet, doesn't need that much yet.
The harvester count is once again in favor of Seed with 51 to 41, and of course he's saturating now the 3 mineral lines. So Gumiho was not able to punish him thus far, and Seed is now just capitalizing on his economy. And he's getting blink, and the more time that Seed has to build units and to get this army into play, the better for him. And Gumiho is just trying to play a bit of catch up, but that's not going to work too well for him.
And while 4 more gateways going up to 9, getting double forges as well. He's actually saying to himself right now, I've done it. The Nexus is held. I've gotten the extra minerals from that, and Gumiho is behind. Now this pylon from earlier is going to become slight liability. It's actually going to spot the drop, exactly the purpose of it. from before.
But there are a few units that are headed straight for the third, so Seed is spread out really thin here.
Yeah.
And these Hellions in the main base, they are going to do a lot of damage. He can warp in as many units as he wants. At the low ground, we have at the third another force that is attacking right now. Gumiho is exploiting the fact that Seed doesn't have enough units to really hold all three bases.
Yeah, he will lose the third Nexus. This is a big problem for Seed. You know, he had, as I mentioned, he probably felt like, I've done it now. And this is a weird drop by Gumiho with the Hellions. He's actually continuing to reactor out Hellions right now in TVP with medevacs being produced as well. This is pretty strange. It's almost as if he just decided not to switch. He will catch and kill all of Gumiho's units here.
I think it's a great decision. It's basically him punishing exactly what Seed does here right now.
It's creative and I like it.
It's like, okay, you will never have enough units to protect your third in your main base. I drop Hellions in your main and I attack your third with the rest of my bioforces, and you will have to make a choice. And he lost everything. Well, he lost a lot of probes actually in his main base, and at the same time the third died. So Gumiho playing this really well and making sure that he's now the one being ahead in the economy.
But with the counterattack, he is going to have to be very careful. There's a ton of production for Seed right now. He's going for the attack. Gumiho ahead in upgrades right now. And the third base is not going to be the point of attack. He's going to go for the natural instead. He does have Blink. He needs to be careful. These Stalkers are going to have to use a little bit of that Blink. He forces the stim here.
+1/+1 will be done very soon, and Gumiho is adding additional production now. So at this point, it's really tricky for Seed. He was not able to just close this window, this timing window that Gumiho had in order to attack. So Seed at this point now trying to get this Nexus once again into the picture at the third base, but Gumiho is already far ahead in economy, not only in the Harvest account, but also with the Mules, with the bases that he's saturating. And Storm is being researched for Seed right now, so he wants to get some area of effect damage into the game, but Gumiho is looking pretty strong here. He just needs to add this Ghost Academy.
Some Hellions do go around the right side of the map to re-spot for the third Nexus. The Hellion drop was killed by Stalkers that were left behind. Looks like he's going to kill a Scouting Probe here, which is important, but the Nexus is spotted and he will take out the pylon. Seed just getting further and further supply blocked here. May even get a Sentry if he wants to target it. Nope, going to try to get some probes instead. Probably get maybe 4 in total.
Yeah, taking down a few of them. In total, 17 workers killed against 2, and Gumiho once again on the move. But so far, without a Ghost Academy, and the Tech 2 Storm is as good as done.
This is very true. Some key storms could change the entire game. Seed with the third Nexus back up, getting extra cannons, and his main base to defend against possible drop aggression. I'm a little bit surprised he's reluctant to attack here. It's as if he knew without even seeing that there's a third base, rather his third base is under attack. But no, he doesn't know because he's not sending any units over there. Now he's going to regret it.
He's going to snipe the Nexus. That's all that Gumiho needs to do. We've seen this over and over in games of KVPs. That the Terran player is stimming in, using his high DPS to take down the base. The force fields up there were pretty decent though, and Seed killing a lot of units, but Gumiho can afford to rebuild them. He's even taking a fourth right now, while Seed has to restart his third over and over again.
He needs one key engagement. Seed needs the engagement that will allow him to start being aggressive. Now the Ghost Academy is on the way. That's so crucial. The upgrades for Gumiho continuing to go. 2-2 coming out here. And Seed is in a position where his army can still win fights with the key storms, but only for a little while. That timing window is closing with these ghosts coming out here.
At this point, when the EMPs, as he said, when they come out, then this is going to be so dangerous, and now he might even not need them. Oh wow, these forces were pretty good.
They were.
There's no retreat.
The flank is just almost too much for him. Even with the storms, he just has so many units. 2-2 is not done, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter. The cannons here are going to be quite useful. He's got some storms ready as well, and here they come!
The flanks were too good indeed, but the force field spot on these storms are actually pretty decent as well. But the thing is that Gumiho is so far ahead that he can afford to trade costs inefficiently.
Exactly.
In total, though, we have still more resources lost for Seed, and Gumiho just continues to rally units across the map. His +2/+2 is nearly completed.
Yeah, and as soon as he gets the second wave of forces together here, he will probably attack once more, may even go for a drop. He's got to be careful about attacking without ghosts with all the storms available. Seed got extra Templars in that last engagement. The longer he waits, the more energy they will have. May want to go for another split attack.
Gumiho is not even getting a fifth base. He's continuing his aggression while expanding over and over again. Those High Templars are without energy for Storm yet, but Gumiho is trying to chase them down with a few of his Marauders nonetheless. The base is about to die once more if he actually focuses it, but yep, there. No, he actually retreats.
One Marauder comes in.
It's not enough. No.
Nope. Nicely defended, but Seed still at a huge supply deficit here. Gumiho, like you said, he can afford to trade cost inefficiently. And the Ghost count right now is still at 0. He hasn't made a single Ghost. That's going to become a problem for him if these Storms hit. Here you go. He's actually backed into a corner with hardly anywhere to run. Nice. Goes forward rather than backwards. And that Templar with full energy gets taken out.
He takes out the Templar, takes down another one, and tries to fight at the natural as well. He's just everywhere now. And Seed dropped below 90 supply once again, whereas Gumiho is nearly doubling the supply of his opponent. He's actually starting Cloak here, personal cloak for the Ghost and the +3 attack upgrade, and he's about to kill the base. There it is. Finishes what he started earlier, takes down the 3rd base, and once again Seed on 2 bases. One of them mining. This is really a bad spot for him to be in.
Yeah. Gumiho continued to drop the main targets of Forge. He gets away with his units. Is not able to kill the Forge, only the shields. The Nexus has been remade, but he's going to have to cancel that. That's too bad. No cancel. Even worse.
At this point, he's already as good as dead. He's running out of income. He doesn't have much mining going for him. His opponent is on 5 bases. And here comes a drop play. The Medivac once more just hitting the natural, taking down Harvesters. Worker supply, as you can see here, is highly in favor of Gumiho. He's killing the High Templars. This is just too much that Seed is losing now.
Yep, and he's got a concave. It's 200 supply to 87. Seed with problem with his headset, starts things out in trouble. Great transition to 3 bases, but he cannot stop Gumiho's aggression. GG.
The game is over and Gumiho takes the lead in this best of 3 at the